One, two, three, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
It's in his telescope. Which, if true, it's ridiculous.
Were they a dead mouse?
Probably. I'm not sure how a mouse gets into a telescope. Okay, so to go to the first of our conversations, I think the question I posed was, do you believe some things are meant to happen? In other words, do you think some events in life or in your own life are sort of predestined and that nothing you do will change that? And okay, we could kind of go down a religious route on this, and we don't particularly mean to do that. That's not what we're doing. But sometimes it does seem, I don't know whether you two are the same, but sometimes I look back on something and I will say, thank goodness that happened, or thank goodness I wasn't in that situation at that moment. Because if I had have been, it could have been a very different outcome. Or just generally looking at your life and thinking, yeah, sometimes it feels like there's a guiding hand. Now, okay, I know some people would say, well, yeah, that's the Lord, that's God. And as I say, we don't really talk about religion in detail. I accept there's the kind of all comes into this in a sense. But in just a general sense of day-to-day life, do you have a feeling, either of you, that sometimes something is meant to happen? That's how it's meant to be. What do you think, Cuz?
I'll let the Brummy King go first.
Okay. So, due to my background, I'm going to look at it from a religious point of view, and probably science, But looking at it from religion, we've been taught that before we were created, God has designed what we're meant to be. So, and if you look at it from that angle, you'll be like, okay, probably it's meant to happen and that. But looking at it, there are some certain things that happen to you as well. You're like, is the God I serve this? What would be the best word to use? This unfair? Looking at things that happen to individuals. Let me not say myself, Think that unfair. You see kids, little kids dying that have not even done nothing worth dying, and stuff like that. But on the other hand, we make decisions, and when you make decisions, there are repercussions for every decision you make. So if you, let's say someone that decides to go shoplift and he or she gets arrested, the arrest would be as a result of him or her shoplifting. So for that, I can say, it's meant to be because you know the repercussion of these things. Then why did you do it? So for me, I'll look at it from different angles, and I'll say, yes, looking at it from the religious angle, because I'm being religious, I can't take that out of me. But looking at it critically, using my science mind, I'll look at it again and say, I don't think it works out that way. I wouldn't, because there are so many things that is happening around the world. Innocent people dying. Would I just say it's meant to be? No. So that would be my my thought for now.
Yep.
One, two, three, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang. With fun, it's hosted.
What about you, Cuz?
Yeah, mine would be. I would take sides with Jerome, because if you look at it critically from a scientific point of view and from a factual point of view, I would say the only way that I'd compare it to would be if you put salt in your cup of tea. It's like putting salt in your cup of tea and expecting it to taste sugary. You know, every action has a reaction. If you stayed in bed all day, if you were truly tired, you would be reinvigorated or re-energized. But if you wasn't tired, you might feel more tired. You might actually feel bored. But if you go out now, if you don't cross the road, you're not likely get to be run over by a car because you don't cross the road. Now, if you drive, chances are you'll be involved in an accident. So it doesn't make sense to me that there's a pre-conditioned set of events or an event that would happen regardless of what actions you take. But because that would be like telling a child, listen, whether you go to school or not, you're still gonna be a lawyer. Whether you study or not, you're gonna be a very good doctor. It doesn't work. So that's the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And again, if there is such a thing, if some events are predetermined, predestined, then it takes away the elements of free will that we do tell ourselves we have, because it will make no difference in those events, to what happened. And I mean, I think we can look back in a more general sense, and it's probably difficult, dangerous to give examples of what might be. But if we go back, if what we read is correct, in the war, the Second World War, Hitler was on the verge of invading Britain, the UK, and I believe he was encouraged by his generals to do that. And I think it's long since been admitted that if he had have done, the chances are he would have overrun us. But he didn't. Something made him not do that, which ultimately, I guess, saved millions of lives. And I know some people say, well, yeah, that was the hand of God, or that had to happen. Otherwise, the world would have been in a very sad space. But yeah, it's difficult to quote things like that because we just don't know what the reasons for people's actions are.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang.